Hello, welcome back to Clues by Sam. And today we have a medium difficulty. So I was wrong about what the difficulty will be today. But if you don't know what Clues by Sam is, it is a puzzle game where you have 20 people on a board and each of them may give you a clue. And you gotta follow their clues without guessing to figure out who is an innocent and who is a criminal. Now, let's get started for today. So we start with Wanda, and the names are not the same every day. Nice. So we start with Wanda telling us that only one of the three criminals in column C is Zed's neighbor. There's only one criminal in column C, which is this one, and they are Zed's neighbor. Where's Zed? Oh, here. So Zed only has two neighbors in column C. And one of them is an innocent, so the only one who can be a criminal is Ruby. And we have two other criminals in column C to figure out. Now Ruby is telling us that exactly one innocent in row 5 is neighboring Sarah. Row 5 is here. Sarah has two neighbors in row 5, so one of them is already an innocent, which is Wanda, so Zed has to be a criminal. And we don't need this clue anymore. Zed's telling us that an odd number of innocents above Wanda neighbor Logan. Wanda's here, and we have 3 more people to find out above her. So an odd number of innocents above her neighbor Logan. What does that mean? Logan has 3 neighbors above Wanda, and we know that one of them is a criminal and one of them is an innocent, because that's the only way we can have an odd number of innocents among these people. And because of that, we know that Diane is a criminal, since we need to have 3 criminals in column C. And I don't think we need this clue anymore. Now Diane is telling us that there are more criminals than innocents to the right of Terry. Where's Terry? Here. And in order for there to be more criminals, since we have 3 people, 2 of them have to be criminals. Now Vince has to be a criminal. And we don't need this clue anymore. Now Vince is telling us that there's only one innocent to the left of Zed. So that tells us that Terry is a criminal too. And we don't need this clue anymore. Now Terry is telling us that both criminals in row 1, which is here, are connected. So we know that one of these 2 has to be a criminal, should be connected to Diane. So Brian has to be an innocent. Now Brian's telling us there's an odd number of innocent judges. How many judges are there? Diane is one of them. Kay. We have only 2 judges, so in order for there to be an odd number of innocent judges, Kay has to be an innocent. Am I missing a judge? Oh, Wanda is a judge too, so Kay has to be a criminal. Now, always misreading some clues. That wasn't a misread, it was actually me not finding the other judge, but that's okay. We gotta learn to pay attention. Now, Kay is telling us that exactly one cop has an innocent directly to the right of them. Now let's find all cops. We have 2 cops here, another cop here, and we're talking about innocents. And to the right of them. Now Jane doesn't have anyone to her right. Isaac has someone to her right, but the clue's talking about the cop having an innocent to their right. So Vance has an innocent, which is Wanda. Now that tells us that Jane is a criminal. And I don't need this clue anymore. Now Jane's telling us that Oscar is one of the Innocent's neighboring Vans. We don't know how many Innocents are there, but we know that Oscar is one of them. Now Oscar's telling us there's an equal number of Innocents in column A and C. Column C has 2 Innocents. We know because of Wanda and one of these 2. And column A already has Brian and Oscar, so in order for the number to be equal, Freya has to be a criminal. Now Freya is telling us that Gabe's one of Maria's 2 innocent neighbors. So Maria so far only has criminal neighbors that we figured out, but Gabe is an innocent one, and we gotta find another one in here, and she has 4 more criminal neighbors. Let's leave this clue here. Gabe's telling us that all criminals below Clyde are connected. That doesn't really tell us anything for now. Because there may very well be another innocent here. And Maria could be the innocent and Isaac just one of her criminal neighbors. Now I'm gonna have to look back at the clues that I just missed. So Brian's telling us about the judges. We don't need this anymore. Diane's telling us that there are more criminals than innocents to the right of Terry. Okay. Gabe's one of Maria's 2 innocent neighbors. All criminals below Clyde are connected. Oscar is one of the innocents neighboring events, but we don't know how many. Kay is telling us that exactly 1 cop has an innocent directly to the right of them, which is Vance. There's an equal number of innocents in columns A and C. Figure that out. Exactly 1 innocent in row 5 is neighboring Sarah, which is Wanda. Both criminals in row 1 are connected. There's only 1 innocent to the left of Zed, which is in this row. Only one of the 3 criminals in column C is Zed's neighbor. Zed's here. And then a number of innocents above Wanda, neighbor Logan. All criminals below Clyde are connected. And Maria has 2 innocent neighbors. Does that tell us anything? I mean, we can rule out Peter as a criminal, because there couldn't be 2 innocents among Logan and Peter. They both couldn't be innocents because Maria only has 2 innocent neighbors, so Peter has to be a criminal. Now Peter is telling us that there are more innocents in row 1 than row 4. Row 1 has 2 innocents. Row 4 cannot have 2 innocents, so Sarah is also a criminal. And we don't need this clue anymore. Now Sarah is telling us that both innocents neighboring Kay are Logan's neighbors. And both innocents neighboring Kay are Gabe and Oscar. But that also tells us that Logan is a criminal. And we don't need this clue anymore. Brian's only criminal neighbor is Gabe's neighbor, which would be Freya, because Brian only has 3 neighbors, and Freya is one of them, and she's already a criminal, so Clyde has to be an innocent. And then Emma is a criminal. Emma is telling us that Mariah has the most criminal neighbors. Is it Mariah or Maria? Maria has the most criminal neighbors. Now we're gonna do some counting, because Maria has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 criminal neighbors. And Isaac has 3, 4. So if both Maria and Nancy were criminals, Isaac would have 6 criminal neighbors too. So Maria has to be innocent in order for Isaac to have less criminal neighbors than Maria. And Isaac is a criminal, and then Nancy is another criminal. Oh, Maria has 2 innocent neighbors. Just a little slip. But that was it. 2 small mistakes, which is just me not paying attention, but we did it in less than 11 minutes. And I'm conditioning myself to pay more attention to this. But we learn one thing every day. We learn to pay attention to one new thing every day. So yeah, keeps being fun, and I hope to see you tomorrow.